Let's read this particular hand. Left hand is not the active hand to refer to, but first we'll see the left hand and then go on to the right hand. The person is age 35 or so, and we are just going to see the conditions, what we see on the headline. This is the headline, and there's an upward branch that is going towards the upper part, towards the heart line. Any upward line is considered to be an excellent sign. So some major changes might have taken place at the age of 34 or so. You would also see that the money line is coming and ending on the headline, and a new one is basically developing. So few changes might have happened somewhere at the age of 34 to 35, and the person might have upgraded his knowledge, and it is going to basically better his life. One very good aspect on the palm is that the heart line, it is ending on the mount of Saturn. So these people are good at managing money, and they would certainly accumulate good amount of money in their life. This is one good aspect. And the heart line is also deep and clear without any branches. So the person is highly focused. Another beautiful sign to have. This area is the Mount of Jupiter, the area of administration, religion, and politics. This too is basically good because it is well padded. So these qualities are present in this particular person. And a money triangle like formation is getting formed out here. See, the combination is basically the money line, and the money part, the headline, basically the thought process, and the Mercury line, this is basically the technical expertise. So these things do represent, are showing good signs. So the possibilities are good in time to come. We now move on to the right hand, the active hand to refer to. In this hand, you would notice that the money line is straight away coming and ending on the line of head. So the timing of the intersection is basically age 35. That's when the money line is ending. So there are going to be few problems, but the person shouldn't basically uh, feel that everything is lost. There would be problems because there's a changeover in the money line, and a new money line is developing sometime at an earlier age. The age is approximately 30, 33 or so. So this point of transformation is basically brings in trouble. So the chances are that whatever new work is going to start, it's going to be much better. If we look closely, you would notice that somewhere out here, this particular headline, this portion of the headline, there are few downwards line towards the headline. See, downward lines pointing towards the mount of moon are not considered to be good because it brings in disappointment. So at one point we are seeing the money line ending. This is a negative sign, but at the same time we are also seeing at the same age few downward lines. Those are mental disappointments, so the person would be full of troubles. But the positive aspect is that there's an upward line that is going towards and pointing towards the mount of Mercury. This is basically a beautiful line. uh, the line is not it's reaching here. This is one line, and there are few small lines also that you're seeing upward lines are always basically considered to be good and seen in good light. So, so these are good indications. Probably the person might self-educate, or the person might use his mind to better his life. So this is a beautiful aspect to have. Apart from that, you also see a much more clearer money triangle. This is the money line. This is the technical skill line, the Mercury line, and this is the headline. When a triangle is formed and pointing towards these three fingers, the Saturn, the Sun, and the Mercury. So benefits, this Saturn is basically money, this is basically name and fame, and this is basically skills. So a combination of these three things brings in very good results in one's life. So good things should be expected. Apart from that, we also see that this is the initial phase of the money line, the headline, and at this point the age is 35. Beyond that, you would notice that the line is splitting into two. One line is going a little bit upwards. Whenever it goes upward, again I would say the same thing, that it's a good sign. This is a sign of a person who's a genius. a person who can see two sides of the coin at the same time. So they are very good at their work, and in comparison to their competitors, they are way ahead. The other aspect is that the heartline, it is singular and deep and clear and ending on the mount of Saturn. This is one of the best signs to have, even for money matters. It might be the heartline, but still it matters a lot to have a very deep and clear line. Many people, they have broken kind of lines. Broken kind of lines or islanded lines are basically very bad lines, and those bring in stress. But this person is not stressed at all. The person, while talking to me, he told me that it's his there are troubles in his life, so all problems. But I would say that that the person manages all the troubles in a very very good way, and even in his worst times, he's not down and out. So this is one characteristics which is required to be successful. So one of the best signs to have. So many successful people, they have this kind of a heart line, this line that you see. And you would also notice that a strong line is there under the mount of Mercury. This is the skill area. So you need to have skills to be basically to be successful, and a person who has a strong line is likely to be successful. Many people, what they have is kind of, they have got a very very weak kind of, meek and weak kind of lines out here, very very meek, these kind of which you can't even notice when you zoom in. Probably then you might basically see once you're zooming in, then you might see these weak kind of lines. So these weak kind of lines do not give result. A stronger line of over the mount of Mercury gives better result compared to a meek line, and meek lines do not give good result. Some people also have crisscrossing line. Those are basically bad indications over this particular area. The person might miscalculate, but out here we don't see those crisscrossing lines. The person might make wrong calculations, or the person might miscommunicate. Both these things area are bad things, and we see a perfect mount of Mercury. Apart from that, we also see a good indication to see on his hand is that this is the lifeline, and apart from the lifeline, there's also a supporting lifeline. This line basically is the line of aggression and fire and the fighting spirit within us. So a person who has this fighting spirit is going to win. So whatever problem that we see out here, these things get solved due to the supporting Mars line. This is also known as the guardian angel line. That's the Western way of saying it, but the Indian way is it's a Mars line. So a fighting spirit is there, and good health is also seen due to this particular line. And any person who tries to oppose him would not be successful, and these people would ultimately win. Now we come to the sun line. The sun line, you would notice some people have got a long sun line, but you don't need to have a long sun line. Just a small line out here is good enough, and that is what is required to be successful. This line should be deep and clear, and the line is deep and clear. That's what you see, and it means that the person is giving good amount of his energies to his work, and that is basically bringing in success. So a perfect combination we see in his hand, and the likelihood for success is there. The line between the Saturn and the Sun mount, this is the line. Some person told me that this is basically the line that brings in success, or whatever education we have taken. It can be formal education, informal education, that we would be able to apply in our life. So whatever small or big education the person might have taken, it is going to bring in benefits. Again, the last thing I would say, a perfect heart line and a strong Mars line. These are extremely important lines. Do not think that money line is of great importance. These lines play a much greater part in our life than just the money line. And if we have these lines, everything will be okay. That's it for this particular reading. I hope you like this video. If you like the video, click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel. Bye and take care.